Hey everyone, and welcome to Carrie's Garage. And on this episode, finally dug the International out so we can take a little bit of a closer look at how much work it needs. And here is the International. It's a 1960 International Harvester B120. I believe, if I remember right, that's a 3/4 ton, but it's got not the right axle, so it's just kind of whatever it is right now. I showed this truck on the first video I ever did over a year ago now, and it should have been tucked in that corner, but now I decided to pull it out so we can take a little bit of a closer look at it, especially since my friend picked up those two Internationals, one of which is a 58, which is very similar to this truck, but a little bit different, and her truck is absolutely gorgeous. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll walk around, talk about the truck a little bit, show you some of the stuff, and talk about the many, many things that it needs. So we're going to go ahead and start off inside the truck where many, many things are very bad. So start off with one, which is why that previous video, why I have like 6 doors for this thing now, is someone at some point cut these doors apart. You see it's all bent apart and there's no window mechanism, there's no windows in here, the door panel's missing. It's in pretty bad shape, but thankfully, I believe I will be able to build 2 decent doors and complete glass out of everything I have. It's super dirty in here. There's no glass, so I haven't been able to keep out the leaves, but I guess there's a bunch of parts I didn't know about, including, a hubcap, cool. I wonder if this is the mirror for this truck. Maybe, we'll see. Anyways, so get in this dirty thing. We've got the still early style dash with the binnacle. The glass on this thing is all broken. I've looked around trying to find decent replacements. I found a couple, but I think what I'm going to do is just take this thing apart, clean it up, cut a new piece of glass, and see if I can get somebody to cut vinyl and actually replace it, because that's all it was, is the information was right here on the glass. But, not really that important right now. It'd be nice to get it running. Got the glove box right here. It's got the shift pattern. Really good sized glove box, and looks like there's a voltage regulator sitting in there. Ashtray. Does have the heater, little controls right there, and for some weird reason a smiley face. No idea what that's about, but there's not a... Oh wow, that's interesting. I never noticed that before. Never had a sun visor on that side, but I've got a good set of sun visors for this truck. So this one's destroyed, but I've got a good one. The headliner, or tar kind of paper, whatever it was, is pretty schmecky. The windshield is completely messed up and cracked, but thankfully I've got a really good used one that's going to go in this truck. Got some more parts down here. Oh, that one has a door panel. That's cool. I haven't been in this truck in a long time. So then we've got, it's a 4-speed on the floor, which is a personal favorite of mine, with these gigantic pedals. There's the one real big thing I love about Internationals is they don't do anything small or minuscule. It's all very big, industrial, clunky stuff. I mean, that's what they were known for. So we'll go ahead and go up to the front, which this was the redesigned front end on these trucks, which a lot of people, from what I heard, really were not a fan of. It looks very, it's the same front end they use on school buses and whatnot, and they only did it for a couple of years. It wasn't particularly liked by a lot of people. I think it's neat. Let's open up the hood, where we've got the great International Inline 6. This is the Black Diamond. If I remember right, this is the 240, I think. I would have to check the numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's a 240. Most of it is here. It's got the carburetor. There's some stuff missing. If I remember right, I did get this thing to spin over, but the starter was completely destroyed. It was completely messed up. So I need to take that out and rebuild it. It's missing the battery box. What else? Oh, this is really kind of cool. If you look, the radiator, original International part number on the radiator. It's pretty simple under here. There's really not a lot going on. Just had the oil filter right there. So what we're going to have to do is figure out some of the wiring, because I know a bunch of the wiring's messed up. For another weird reason, I think it was stolen off this truck, or it might have been parts. Somebody took all the brake lines off, so it has absolutely no brake lines anywhere. So I'm going to have to do that. That should actually be pretty easy. I do want to convert this thing to dual master just for simple safety reasons. And now we're at the back of the truck. So if I remember right, my uncle put a different rear axle under this. He put the bigger axle with the floating bearings. Honestly, I'm really thinking about taking the front and rear axle out and just putting modern stuff under here. I don't know yet. I haven't quite gotten to that point. Just want to get it running and move under its own power. Got the tailgate back here at the International on it. And here's one of the more interesting things about this truck, which it has kind of an interesting history from the late 60s, early 70s. But if we look right here, it has 2 license plates. This truck was used at one point for slightly questionable activities up in northern New Mexico, but we'll just go ahead and leave it there. I still don't know a huge amount of the history of it, but all I know is the guy who had this at one point many, many years ago did some things. But the back of it, it's just filled with stuff. I've got a bunch of wheels. For some reason, I have this collection of these 6-lug wheels. These are non-split rims, but they're 17.5s, which I know tires really aren't that easy to get for it. That's why I want to maybe go with a different axle on this thing. I do have a 3/4 ton front I-beam with some springs in the back. There's also garbage hose, more wheels. These are split rims and a keg for some reason. This truck doesn't have a drive shaft. Let's see if we can take a look underneath. Can't really see much, but it's missing. Oh, there's the fuel tank. Cool. It is missing its drive shaft, which a friend of mine actually has one. I just need to take a trip up to northern New Mexico and go get some parts for it, but it's all just kind of little at a time. And right here is my pile of doors. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 doors. There's a decent set of door panels right there, which I will end up cleaning up, painting, and putting in the truck. And I've got enough glass between all these doors, window regulators, all kinds of stuff where I'll be able to piece 2 really good doors for my truck together. I don't know if I'm going to end up taking my doors off and putting these doors on, probably, since they cut the inside of the doors. But what we'll go ahead and do is lay these all out at some point and figure out which ones are the best, which ones we can work the best with, and put those on the truck. And then I had got a whole pile of drive shafts, which ironically, annoyingly, none of them are right. And if I can get the door open. Oh, well, that one actually opens. Oh, look, lots of leaves and stuff. Bunch of parts and stuff laying in here. But yeah, that's what the passenger side looks like. I do like this, the original color door card on this, and all metal. Can't go wrong with that. I need to see about finding the window seal so I can put the windshield in. See, this one's actually, it's falling apart. And I also, it's actually in the back of the GMC, I've got another seat for this, which is a lot nicer. So I'm probably going to just put some really simple upholstery on that one and then ditch this. But that's all very much down the road. Well, there's the old International pickup. Finally pulled it out of its hole and took a bit of a look at it. So as you can see, we have a lot of work to do with this thing. I still need to make a trip up to northern New Mexico and pick up some parts. A friend of mine parted out a 60 just like this, and he's got a drive shaft, a battery box, and a couple other little things. I just need to make it up there. It's about a 4-hour drive up and a 4-hour drive back, so that's why I haven't done it yet. But his truck is kind of sentimental to me. My uncle gave it to me. It's the video of going up to his property to pick up some parts, and most of that was all just for this truck. So at some point in the future, I really would like to get this thing at least running and moving under its own power. It would be kind of cool just to putt around where I live with it and take it to the hardware store or whatnot. Because, it is a cool truck. I really like it. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.